44 million yen. It's 293.
Stained glass up in there. On the other side of that
Kilo bag of rice when we moved here. I think it was about 1,000 up in here. So we were going to drive and check it out, but we couldn't get there. Like that one I just was talking about earlier. The reason why we come out here a lot too, because in the summertime, you got to do a shitload more than just ripping it. Like I said, you can rent, and I'm going out for maybe. The schools out here are nice, man. My son and I were self-walking your dog in the morning, and there's a lot of these countries would not really, Washington, you know, these kind of places, those kind of places, man, that's what makes me feel this far. So I'm actually pretty happy about it. You can see they got all kind of like cafe. You can, like I was targeting before, I mean, they do have the signs in there. It was like 24 degrees. We're like, yeah, kind of rare. Like I said, for living in that area. Sapporo's another nice, like Hokkaido, got a single for about, you know, $1,500 a month. We saw you in Terrace House and whatnot. So it was talking about a family of, say, Tokyo or Saitama or something. You don't have to move, but you may have your, like, if you have an account for transportation costs too, out of now inner. Good morning, everybody. This is BSP. Man. Where do I begin, man? This has been such a nice trip for me and my family. We're really enjoying ourselves up here. Right now, it's really cold out this morning. It's in -2 because we're up here in Karuizawa in Nagano Prefecture, which is an hour away from Tokyo by Shinkansen, but it's 955 meters up. Actually, you can go somewhere where it's 1,000 meters up. About 3,200 feet above sea level. So as you look around me, it snowed yesterday. So you can see some snow up in the mountains, of course, and some snow on the side here. I'm just walking from my hotel. I don't know how, I mean, I'm going to be out here as long as I can until, well, at least my family's supposed to get up here in an hour or so. So I'm going to head back after that. But I probably got about an hour. But I want to talk to you about a lot of different things with as far as cost of living here in Japan. I know I did a video a couple years ago on cost of living in Japan. I don't know, I still have it up or not, but I know at that time you could pretty much live anywhere in Japan on $1,000 a month as a single person. Now, married, you might as well double that, especially if you have a family of 4. And now, I want to say that if you were living, like, say, 2 people as a couple, you don't need to necessarily double it. But I do want to say that as a family, you have to. So, everywhere you go, by the way, I was going to tell you, speaking of cost of living, because that's what this video is going to be about. When you walk the streets here in Karuizawa, you're going to see these furuyosans, which means housing offices all over the city. Now, when you look at these numbers right here, like this one right here says 44,000 man yen, right? So that's basically telling you that it's going to cost you 400 man yen. And this is a really good piece of property right here. So this particular one is a house, and it was built in 2010, and it's 150.25 square foot of lot, and let's see, I'm sorry, of house. The house is 4,200. It's a pretty big lot, so that's a really good price, guys. Here in Karuizawa, it's beautiful. It's this places which I'm going to show you. That's roughly going to cost you around, I'd say, somewhere around $400,000. You have other numbers out here too, but it's pretty good, guys. So actually, I'm sorry, that's more than that. I got to look at the numbers on that. That's actually more than that. It's actually my bad. It's more than that. I have to take a look at these numbers again. But still, it's a good price in Karuizawa because, guys, this place is so beautiful. It's so beautiful here. It really is. It's so beautiful here, man. But just do your math on that. But it's really beautiful. Now, here I am walking around. Of course, at this time of year in Karuizawa, we noticed there's not a lot of people as much as you'll see in the summer. Now, from Golden Week, I would say, yeah, about Golden Week on, it's going to be crazy, crazy busy up here. I've seen videos of guys doing stuff, and it's crazy. I'm looking at these while I'm standing here right here. I got my phone with me. I'm gonna just pull this number up for a minute. 48. I see a lot of different numbers here, but I want to pull up this number because I think I may have gotten myself in the jam here. So I just want to make sure that we got the right that the numbers are, because I know what I paid for my house, and a lot of these homes are a lot less than what I paid for mine, but I just want you to see. I want to see what this is about. So, oops, gonna get this numbers here real quick. So, I'm trying to push this number here. So, let's see what I'm saying here. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Just give me a minute here, guys. Oops, I get my phone set up here. Because I do it in Japanese, so I want to make sure that the numbers are actually right. So, okay, so let's see, what is this about? What is this going here? I just want to get this right here. Oops, this is, oh, I can't get this right here. Darn it. Okay, I'm going to put it on my calculator. Give me 1 second here, guys. Just trying to figure out this number here. I know it in my head, but I just got to get it down. So, let's see here. So, Yonsen Hapiaku. Oh, yeah, okay, I guess that's right. Wait a second. What am I going? I can go off for this one. Yeah, that's about right. So, yeah, so that 44 that I was telling you earlier, yeah, that's actually about $293,000. So that Yonsen Yonhyakuman yen is 44,000 yen, 44 million yen is $293,000, and that's for a big ass lot, guys. That particular house, looking at my phone here again, that was a 150 square meter home. That's a really good size. If you can do the math on that, that's a really good size. So I just wanted to point that out, guys. If you wanted to live up here in this beautiful place. Now, here I stand, I'm going to be heading up to Karuizawa, and there's a station right there. It's beautiful. It's got the stained glass up in there. On the other side of that station is the Prince Resort. They have Prince Outlet Resorts. They have a lot of different stores like Kenzo. I saw some high-end clothing stores, high-end stores over there. But it's a really nice environment. They got a nice little food court over there, and you can kind of hang out. Oh yeah, they did it right. And then you got skiing over there on the other side too. So, because if you can look, you can see like there's skiing up there in the hills. So yeah, this is why people come up here too. But this time of year, the weather is kind of unpredictable because we didn't expect it to be snowing, as you can see. I don't know if that's the wind, snow blowing out the building, or it's actually snowing, but it's not supposed to be snowing today. It's supposed to snow on Tuesday, and I know that all week, I looked further out for a whole week, it's supposed to be like in the zeros or minus. Right now, like I said, it's -2 outside. And I don't have my gloves with me, so I'll be switching my hands to hold my camera as I walk around here. I was going to restart this video as I was looking at those numbers, but I kind of wanted to keep it going because there's so many different things to discuss. But now, before I get into what the most recent numbers I saw, and I got to watch myself because it's really slippery. There's ice. I'm not used to this because in Niigata Prefecture, we don't normally stay this cold. By this time of day, it's already melted. You can walk around. and because we're way lower elevation, but you know, in these higher elevation areas, man, you're going to experience this ice. But anyway, so yeah, so before I get the numbers, I want to say that in Japan right now, we're experiencing inflation, so we're about 4%. Rice is going through the roof, man. Rice is going through the roof. For a 5-kilo bag of rice when we moved here, I think it was about 1,000 yen back in June of 2023. Now, it's over 5,000 yen now. And that's a considerable rise in price. So what that's doing to the market here, sushi's going up, anything to do with rice is going up. And as you know, Japanese eat rice 3 times a day. And so, so that's why you see all these numbers going up. I noticed that when we've been to some pretty nice restaurants out here in Karuizawa since we've been here, and we usually spending around 10,000 yen. Whereas where we live, we usually spend around, I'd say, around 4,000 yen or less. So it's going up. I know right now a lot of people that are visiting Japan can't really tell yet because they don't live in Japan, but it's going to start affecting you. You're going to start to see, like if you came here, say like a year and a half ago, or you want to be the kind of person to come here annually, you're going to notice that the next time you come in Japan, that price is going to be a little bit more expensive. Hotel costs are going up, things of that nature. So you just have to realign your budget and make sure that you can, afford this beautiful country over here when you come. Now, so let's get to the nitty gritty on this topic that I'm going to talk about here. The cost of living. How much does it take to live? And you can see these beautiful homes out here. This isn't as big of a home, but it's really a nice looking house. Like you see them, man, they're nice looking homes here. I noticed a lot of homes here are really nice. And then we were driving around this one area where the Terrace House, if you watch that series, The Terrace House, it's really beautiful up in there. We couldn't get to go to the house because the guy, it's private property, that house, right? So the guy had a long sign up there, I will call the police if you come or drive up in here. So we were going to drive and check it out, but we couldn't get there. I guess what had happened was after they had shot the show, when the series was over, people were like going up there in droves, man, trying to see it. And as I walk by these little housing offices, I'm just kind of like putting the camera on here so I can kind of remember what numbers you're looking at here. But anyway, so that's what happened. But we noticed that around there, they had some big ass houses, big properties too. Like that one I just was talking about earlier, the one for 44 million yen, something like that. So they're not that expensive. And a lot of these properties out here, by the way, are second homes for Japanese, because like I said, there's a lot of people coming out here from Tokyo. Tokyo is only 1 hour away, so they want to get away. And this is usually the reason why they come out here a lot too, because in the summertime it's cooler than being in Tokyo, because Tokyo is very hot. But since we're up high here, it's cooler. Now I am going to check it out. We're going to check it out here in a few months. Again, we're going to come out here when it's warmer so we can get around more. We're probably going to stay another couple of nights because we like to stay. I got to look at this, man. I got to be really careful. There's a lot of ice out here, man. A lot of ice. I got my boots and everything on, but I got to be really careful, man, because I'm not busting my ass out here. But now, so yeah, we're going to be out here in a few months to check it out. It's I'm gonna put this thing wrap around my wrist, because if I slip, I don't want my camera to be busted all up, and I can catch myself with my other hand. So we're gonna be up here and we're gonna see. But people come up here, we're gonna see. I mean, how cooler it is than where we are. Because Japan, we get really hot and humid in the summertime, and it seems like every year it gets hotter and humider. Although I don't know, last summer wasn't really as bad as as it was the summer before last. So it was a little bit cooler. And this winter, we got a shitload more snow. You've seen my videos that I put up on the snow around my house. And we get more snow up here than they get up here in Karuizawa. They get snow, but it doesn't snow as like heavy as what we get. It'll seem like it, but we get a lot of snow in Georgia, man. You know, because of our location and because we're by the sea. Now, I'm up here. There's this place right here called Kafina. This is a nice place to eat. We ate here for like a brunch yesterday, and we spent about 10,000 yen. I had a really nice Mexican coffee he had hooked up for me, concocted up for me. It's really nice. It's got like plants and stuff in there. It's a really good place to chill. A really good place to chill with the fam. But here I am walking across here, and you can look all over here. So they got see the beautiful trees and whatnot all over the place. And like I said, you got to be really careful crossing the street. But it's a really nice here. I'm gonna walk all the way up to the rotary part. See how far I can walk before I have to get back. But yeah, this is a really nice place, man. It's, like I said, it's usually packed to the gills when people are all up in here. And you can kind of see around here what's going on. It's really peaceful right now. This is what I like. I'm going to walk by this color a bit. But there, you see a lot of people out here biking and stuff like that. And, you know, milling around. Last night we were out at the restaurant running around like right when it was dark, about 7 or so. 6. We got there at 6. And look at this, man. Karuizawa. There's a new art museum here at Karuizawa. We were out there, and as we were driving back, we saw people in restaurants, and they were out there chilling, man. Just like we were. It was nice. It was nice. We had a nice organic Thai restaurant. What I noticed too about Karuizawa is they have a lot of like nice organic vegan places. Like that place that I just showed you, Caffeine, is a vegan restaurant my wife found for me. Because I'm vegan, so I like to eat. And they love it. They're starting to get into it more too, so. But anyway, so cost of living is here. So if you want to live, say, in a city like this, so you can live here, you know, as a family on 500,000 yen a month, 300,000 yen as a couple, and about 200,000 yen single, including rent. Okay, so you can live up here. It's very affordable. Like I said, all over Japan is affordable. Tokyo, you're gonna be spending a shitload of money. We got ranges out there, so you might even need about, you know, almost well over like 950,000 yen a month with a family of 4, including rent, to live in Tokyo. And the reason why I say rent, because you more than likely won't be able to afford to buy a place up in Tokyo. And even if you come here, you probably won't be able to afford to buy a place up here, even though I just told you what the numbers are. But, you know, you're gonna need to get a loan if you want to live in those kind of places. And a lot of people, Americans in general, that can come out here, because Americans are, you know, at the top of the food chain wealth-wise, right? You know, in numbers. I mean, they got a lot of wealthy people around the world, Switzerland, all of these countries. Sorry guys, I just had to restart. They got a lot of wealthy people here around the world, Saudi Arabia, all kind of countries, right? But when I talk in terms of wealth per capita income, I'm looking at the United States as the top one because we are. And so, but your average American won't be coming over here buying property because they need to get a loan, and nobody's going to lend you a loan unless you have a valid source, a solid source of income. And so, yeah, you, like me, I'm living off my investments. I have a really good source of income, so I was able to get me a loan. But to give you an example of how difficult it is to get a loan, even for Japanese, where my mother-in-law works at the hair salon, the guy was trying to get a loan. He took a few years to finally get approved for a loan, just to open up his hair salon in Niga at the city, and he couldn't get one. He got turned. In fact, the very bank that pre-approved me and said they'd give me a loan once I get my permanent residence, they turned him down. for a loan. They turned him down. So apparently I got some solid source of income. So, you know, I have no problem with that. And that's the thing. So you're going to have to prove all that. You have to show all of that. And you're going to be looking for property. And a lot of people are buying these IKEAs. But like I keep saying, man, I do not recommend buying IKEAs. I don't recommend that at all. Because you got to put a lot of work into it. And a lot, I mean, not a lot of work, too, well, a lot of money. And so what I want to stress on that, if I can stress on that a little bit, a lot of guys, you know, those handyman guys, kind of guys, that, you know, they're good at carpentry, they're good at or you know, electrical wiring or plumbing or whatever the case may be. They think that they are getting a good deal. Oh, don't worry, I know how to do it. I can just do it myself and I'll get it done and no problem, man. I'll just fix it up. You know, like I saw a video recently of a guy that just bought an IKEA. Man, it was a big IKEA, but it was old, and he bought it because he said, look, okay, I want you to throw in a bathroom. So they basically all they did was redo the Ohudo place where you take a bath and everything, and he went ahead and bought it. And then the guy was showing the video on it, and I'm like, oh my God, this place is trashed. And he said, yeah, we're gonna rip the tatami up and we're gonna switch it around a little bit. You gotta do a shitload more than just ripping up tatami. But like I said, I'm not gonna talk about that much today. That's another video I'm gonna do. I'm doing my building a home in Japan video. I'm gonna mention it on that. So let me get back to the cost. What is the cost to live over here? So yeah, if you're gonna live in this particular town, so 500,000 yen as a family, and I mean, like I said, you can rent, and I'm going mainly off of all rent. Now mortgage will be different. Your cost of living will be going to be higher if you're going to, you know, like I said, if you can secure a loan, it's going to be higher. But keep in mind, on securing a loan, you have to secure a way of living here. In other words, you have to be on a living visa here, right? A residence visa, if you will. And you ain't just gonna come over here and be a tourist visa and just come every 3 or 4 months or do a nomad and expect to get a loan. Nobody's gonna give you a loan on that, if that's what you're looking to do. So that's why I always talk about just renting, because most people coming here will rent. Now, like I said, it depends. Another thing about the cost of living here in Japan, like how much you're gonna need to live in Japan, it depends on where you live. Now, like this beautiful, and trust me guys, this city that I'm walking in right now is beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Karuizawa is beautiful. I've driven around it. It's beautiful, man. This little walk here that I'm doing here does not do this justice. I'm trying to see if I can get to that restaurant, at least walk up to the restaurant here where we were at last night. Then I can start to show you what I mean by pristine. See the big, beautiful pine trees we have up here in Karuizawa. This is like such a different look. Like even where I live, it's such a different look from like being in the Tokyos or the high metropolitan areas. Like other guys, I hit the button again. Like being in, it's so different than being like in Nagoya and the Tokyos and the Osakas and those kind of places. This is like it's like, I don't know. I lived in Washington State for a total of 20 years. And, you know, so I lived in Washington State for a total of 20 years, and this reminds me of Washington State a lot. Look, walking around here like a nice like Bellevue or like Redmond or Issaquah, or like Colorado, Estes Park, or some places in Idaho, like Montana, British Columbia, big time British Columbia. Reminds me of like Vancouver area. But it's interesting because it's different terrain, of course, and it just feels like a much better atmosphere because they have everything laid out nice, and you know, they got better restaurants, of course, and you know, like I said, you feel so safe. I'm so safe up here. Nobody's bothering me and other people. So that's a big difference. But yeah, so you can live out here. You can raise your kids out here. The schools out here are nice, man. My son and I we were driving by with my wife and daughter, of course, and we saw this beautiful middle school, and we were like, wow. but they still get treated the same just like any other middle school. It was just like the city just said, hey, we want to build a middle school like this. So that's what they did. So yeah, up here, like, you know, you can see yourself. Can you see yourself walking your dog in the morning? And there's a lot of dogs. This is a dog town, by the way, Karuizawa. When we were in the restaurant last night, there was a dog up in there. This is definitely a dog town. They love their dogs up here because, like I said, a lot of people from Tokyo come out here, and I think they love it because they feel like they live in a different country. They feel like they live in the States because, you know, a lot of these people have traveled when Japanese were traveling a lot, you know, and the people that were traveling are people in their 60s, 70s during the bubble when they were going everywhere. And I can tell that, see, they brought the U.S. and Canada and Australia and New Zealand, these places that they loved, they brought it back here. And so as I'm walking around here, making an announcement, daily announcement. So as you walk around here, you kind of feel like, hey, these people brought all that places that they've been, as far as how they built everything up, they brought those all back here to Karuizawa. And it's amazing how it all mixes in. Because Japanese, without going to these countries, would not really know how to set this all up like this. I mean, they would still have a nice setup. I mean, they don't need Europeans and Westerners to have to design a nice thing, a nice setup. But feels so European to me. Like this street I'm walking on right now, like I said, I feel like I could be in Philly or like nice area like Chestnut Hill or you know, like I said, Vancouver, BC, Bellevue, Washington. You know, those kind of places, man. That's what it makes me feel like I'm at. Some parts of California, Northern Cal, you know, but it's like I said, the big, beautiful trees up here, man, and the greenery is just amazing up here, just amazing. Now, another thing I want to say about, remember I always say, it varies where you live. It everywhere, it varies. So depending on where you live, that's where your cost of living. Oh, yeah, just give me 1 second here. I don't like this piece. One of my camera cover piece, here we go, came out, and I was messing with it in my pocket, and I wanted it to fall. I don't want to lose it because it's a lens cover. Anyway, so it really depends on where you want to live. Now, if you really don't have a lot of funds and you want to come over here, like I said, targeting mostly, I'm assuming that you are because I know the video that I did before, it was basically talking about single people, okay? When I said that you can live anywhere in Japan on pretty much on $1,000 a month, and in Tokyo on $14 a month. Let's revise those numbers a little bit. Let's say that you can, in 2025, you know, you can live anywhere in Japan on about $1,400 a month, and about 166,000 yen, and then you can live in Tokyo on say about $1,700 a month if you're going to be living over here single, including rent. I mean, you're not going to have a really too nice of a place, but you're going to be able to manage, because the good thing about those big metro areas is that you have the really nice public transportation, and you don't have to spend all this money on that public transportation. So that's what you have. I'm just looking around because I went across the street because this guy shows up and I didn't want him to have to stop. So I actually got up this far, so I'm actually pretty happy about it. You can see they got all kind of like cafes and whatnot, and you can see like the looks, the views up in here, man. Yeah, this is amazing. This is amazing place. But yeah, so you can live in those places. So single, you can do it. You can do it. You can, like I was targeting before, retired people, and then you know, that type of thing, where you know, because a lot of people are starting to retire and they have the money, and you make more money then you make a lot more money than you think, especially if you want to live over here in Japan. So you can do it. You can do it. So, but like I said, you're going to get here because you're going to come to Karuizawa. But, well, unfortunately, a lot of you will never even get to come to Karuizawa. But for those of you that are lucky to get here, you're going to come here and you're going to fall in love. And you're going to start thinking about those numbers. Like, oh, wait a minute. Ooh, if I got me an apartment here, how much would it cost for me to wake up every morning and be able to walk my dog out here every day and get my cafe like you like to do back in Seattle and you know, just enjoy the day and go skiing and in the wintertime and do some, and then travel to other parts of this beautiful country from here. You're going to want to do that. You're going to be like, oh, I want to live up here. Because you're going to be shocked, like I said. You're going to be totally shocked at what you see up here. When you get out here to Karuizawa, you're going to be shocked. You're going to be like, wow, this is a beautiful place. And I'm glad I'm showing you this because I wanted you to see a different part of Japan, because a lot of people don't normally see this part of Japan. They usually see like I said, the metro area and the big Kyotos and all of those places like that where there's a shitload of tourists. And like I said, trust me, there's going to be a lot of people up here in the summer, but they're mostly Japanese. Mostly Japanese, because a lot of these places, I mean, these restaurants, man, they you can tell. I mean, they do speak English. They do, I mean, they do have signs in English, and you can get by with broken English up here. Because we do get a lot of foreigners up here too, but nowhere near as much as Japanese. Look at these places. What I know is, like, even the place we were in last night, they had a nice big wood burning fireplace. And it didn't stink, you know. I know a lot of times, you know, you go somewhere and it smells good, but sometimes it's you can tell it's like it doesn't really smell that good and it's getting all in the, no, they had it vented well. So it was a really nice big wood burning fireplace. It smelled so good up in there, man. That restaurant felt so good. We were warming our hands and whatnot. It was nice, you know, because it was funny because we were in Yamanashi Prefecture at Mount Fuji, and we were like short sleeves, and it was like 24 degrees. We were like, yeah, this is nice, and getting warmer now. And we hadn't, like I said, I just bought this jacket I'm wearing now with me just in case I needed it, and I didn't bring anything else. And I don't have anything under this jacket, but this Columbia jacket is pretty warm though. But I just bought that, just lucky enough to get that. Like my son only has his rain jacket and a hoodie, and I would have brought him out here this morning with me for a little bit, but he was still asleep anyway. But I thought, no, because he's going to be cold, man, walking out here like this with just what he has. And I didn't want him to be, you know, that. So I came out here like this. But I'm trying to go up to this one spot. There's a rotary. Oh, where's it back over there? Because I don't want to go too far on my way. I think maybe it was back over there. There was a rotary, I think it is, because I don't remember seeing this part. So let me go back down here. Where I could kind of turn and go up toward that restaurant I was at. You know, then I wanted to show you some of these expensive ass homes up here before I head back. Because trust me, but I mean, they're not really that expensive though compared to the numbers I just put up. Like, you know, like in the States, man, the areas where if I can take you there, if I'm headed, let's see, I remember seeing this Trattoria sign. I don't remember seeing that one street go up, so I think I did kind of walk a little bit too far. Let me go back down a little bit. But if I can show you these expensive homes, I mean, not expensive, but these nice homes, you would be surprised. They're not that expensive. Like I said, the one I just showed you was like $239,000 for that big lot and land and house and whatnot, which is actually pretty damn good, you know? So, yeah, if I can show you that, man, you can be like, damn, that's pretty nice. So, because a lot of these places you're going to see in the States, I know including our house that we got built, are well over like $1 million homes. I mean, if they were in the U.S., they would be like, wow, you know, like especially the way my setup is, where we got the trees all around us, which is kind of rare. Like I said, for living in that area and living in Japan, a lot of Japanese live usually on the plains, and you know, they're right up on each other. Well, you know, I don't live up on anybody, and so that kind of house, man, in the States with that kind of scenery and that terrain and location, I would say my house would be probably worth well over $5 million. And that's saying a lot, you know, because of, and I'm just throwing it out there because I've seen areas like that in the States, and it costs a pretty penny. I could never afford to live in those kind of places. So, but like I said, you come over here, man, and you have all kind of options here in Japan. Now you can live if you wanna just barely get by. I know a place where you can live in Japan on just scraping by on $1,000 a month, and that's like a Kumamoto area, in Kyushu. Kagoshima is another area you could get by on that kind of money, and you know, those are nice places, but keep in mind they get hit hard with the typhoons, and they got some active volcanoes around them too, and you know, yeah, it can get a bit rough weather-wise in Kyushu. Though Fukuoka's, if you're gonna live in Kyushu, you want to do Fukuoka all day long. Fukuoka is nice, and I think this is the rotary. There was a rotary here, but I think this is the part that, I think this might be it. I thought I came down here and it kind of, I think this is the spot. Yeah, I think this is. I'm gonna go back down here. I think this is it. Was the rotary a little bit further down? Maybe it's further down. But yeah, so you can live in those kind of areas. I know Sapporo's another nice, like Hokkaido, got a lot of nice areas living up in Hokkaido too. Cost of living by, you can get by living in Hokkaido, you know, on a single for about, you know, $1,500 a month up in Sapporo, with the rent and everything like that. And Sapporo, trust me, Sapporo is a nice town. You know, it's a nice city, man. Nice big city in Sapporo. But you're not gonna get no IKEAs up in there. Let's put it that way. You know, the IKEAs, guys, are like in the open, like countryside, big time, man. You're out there in the countryside, and you, trust me, you got. Where's an apple pie lab? Look at this. Got a little apple pie lab out here. So that's up in there. Like I said, I would stay away from those. And like I said, I'm gonna do a video on that. I don't know if this is where I was at yesterday, but let me see. If not, if I find it, I just can do another video on that some other time. But maybe this was a song. Did I drive by here? Because I wanted you to see that restaurant area, because I know that those homes around there are really nice, you know, down there. Oh, by the way, I was gonna tell you guys, so the place we were at yesterday, they did the guy, we were talking to him, found he was from Niigata too, like my wife. And we were telling him about this restaurant we're gonna go to in Iyama City today, called Sasa Soba. And that Sasa Soba, if you watch the episodes, if you watch Terrace House Karuizawa, Tsubasa, the hockey player lady on there, who was my favorite lady, by the way, on that whole show. That's the one I would have picked, because that's the kind of woman I like in Japan. She works out around here somewhere, he says, in the mornings, and he says he knows her, and he also knows the snowboard guy. He said they're genuinely really nice people, man. So I don't think I'm gonna be going to the gym and bothering her this morning, but I am gonna be eating. We are gonna go to where her father's restaurant is, and we're going to eat some soba there. So I'm gonna get me a picture with that guy. Maybe even get it on video, if I can video, say, hey, what's up, man? We saw you on Terrace House and whatnot. So when we found you, we were kind of sad that your place had closed, that kind of thing. So if you look on these trees behind me, or in front of me here, somewhere in the there's a lot of thick forest just right up here, and there's a lot of nice homes over there, big homes. I don't think this is, maybe it is. Is that the Rotary up there? I'm just trying to see if this is the Rotary. I know if it's the Rotary, then I know I'm going the right spot. If not, I'm just gonna have to double back, shut this down and get back, because my family's gonna be getting up, and we gotta get some breakfast and hit the road, because we're going home today, and we kind of want to get back home and just trying to chill after this long trip, because this is our longest trip that we've taken on Honshu Island since we moved back to Japan. I mean, we've taken like 2-day trips to Kanazawa, of course, Tokyo here and there, but this has been a 4-night trip. And we've been to 4 different prefectures this whole trip. We've been to Yamanashi, well, we live in Niigata, so Niigata, Yamanashi, Nagano, where we're at now, and Guma Prefecture yesterday. My son loves this character, so we went to the station, and he was surprised. Demon Slayer, he loves the Demon Slayer series, and he was surprised that the Demon Slayer was there from Takasaki Station to that place called Yokokawa Station in Guma Prefecture, which is just across the line from us here in Karuizawa. So he was elated. I didn't even know that. I just picked it out of the blue because that was the closest place to get to Guma, because he wanted to go to another prefecture and not put another notch in where he's been. So now he's been to 12 prefectures and my daughter's been to 10. So they were all happy about that. I don't think this is where I was last night. So I'm gonna have to go cut through these side streets to get back to the main street area. Yeah, but this is a beautiful area. You can see people walking around here. It's a really nice walk. Wait a minute, let me walk up here for a minute so you can kind of see. Yeah, so you can kind of see what's going on over here. Look at this. Guys, look at this. Look at this, guys. This is beautiful out here. I'm gonna take a picture while I'm here of this so I can remember. I like to take pictures because I love scenery, and also want to remember where I've been, so next time I come back, I can say, hey, I've seen this. This is where I was at. So as you can see, this is what I'm talking about. Now, this is what I'm talking about. So as I'm walking around here, see, these are people's homes. See? Actually, these are lodges right here. This is a lodge area. Yeah, this is a lodge area right here. I gotta watch out for any kind of, like, I won't be down here too much. I thought these were homes out here, but these are actually lodges. So I'm just gonna show you and just turn around and go back around. But you can see how pristine, but it looks like this all back in here. But when you're driving around, you'll see like beautiful homes up in here. When you're in other parts of this area, it's really magical. It's just amazing. It's amazing place to be. I love this country. I love living here because I get to see so many different things and so many different happenings and whatnot. And it's got the culture, it's got the food, it's got the, the otonashi. The people are so calm up in here in Japan. It's safe, it's clean. Yeah, I'm gonna head back to where I'm at because it's almost 7:30. I know everybody's scheduled to get up at 7:30 today, and I really got to get out there and get me some breakfast. But yeah, I'm gonna walk on the sunny side. On the sunny side of the street. Louis Armstrong. Grab your coat, grab your hat, baby. Yeah, we were watching the morning drama in Japan, so-called Come Everybody, and they had that song on there. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. It was talking about a family of 100 years, from 1925 to 2025, somewhere around there. So, or 23 to 2003, I forgot what it was, but it was nice, man. It was a really nice drama. We started watching it again, and then we kind of fell off because we were watching other dramas. But I know when we get back today, we already know we're going to be watching some Terrace House. We're going to get all showered up and getting the hot bathed up, and we're going to chill and watch some Terrace House, man. At least that's what my plan is. You know how when you got kids, sometimes you get back, your plan's different. You have to do it another day or whatever. But yeah, so So you can live in Japan. You can live in Japan. It is an affordable place. And a lot of times too, every time you go places, right, you're like, oh man, I want to move there. Well, you don't have to move. If you live in a place in Japan and you see like, you come up to Karuizawa from say Tokyo or Saitama or something, you don't have to move here. You just travel here. That's why you like it. You like it because you can get here. Just give yourself access. Make sure you got access to the place that you like. You don't, if you can't afford to live in the place that you like, just get access to it. And I'm not saying that you can't afford to live up here in Karuizawa, but you may have your, like if you have a job in Tokyo, you may be working there. Now, one thing I do want to say though, it's not cheap on that Shinkansen. So it's not cheap. So like if you want to start doing that shit all the time, it's not cheap, you know. So you gotta compensate, you gotta account for transportation costs too. Outer city. Now inter-regional travel, inter-region travel is really reasonable price, inexpensive. But when you start going outside the areas, man, and whatnot, you like, hey, I want to get out and go here this weekend and go there that weekend. That can get expensive. See, so if you're that type of person, then you need to go ahead and add that into your budget because you're going to be spending that money. You're going to be spending that money doing that. So, man, I don't know if I even covered what I was supposed to cover. I'm just it feels so good being up here, walking around this morning. Really cold morning up here in Karuizawa. But I want to let you guys go, man. I'm going to talk to you later on. This is BSP. Like I said, you know, you can live anywhere. You just have to just figure out what you can afford and what you like. Some people may not like living up here. The winters up here are longer, so it costs you more to heat up here in Karuizawa. You're going to go for about 5.5 months from, say, on late October to, you know, early, mid-April or something like that. Is what you may be doing. So, with that being said, just get up here and see if you like it. So this is BSP coming to you guys here from beautiful, pristine Karuizawa. I'll talk to you later.